I'm the firstborn of 10 kids, and I was entitled to be taught by my grandparents the traditional way of living. So my first 10 years of life, I was with my grandparents, my paternal grandparents, and was taught a lot of things like, how to look after a home, how to look after a family, then taught traditional stories, how to hunt, how to identify things like mushrooms and places where there were crocodiles, and so all sorts of stuff. I had to learn that from scratch, and how to make wooden plates and so forth. So it was a fun-filled type of thing, looking after goats, cattle, pigs, and vegetables. Gus is short for Augustine. I was born into a very Christian family, a Roman Catholic, and I was named Augustine, which was the name of my godfather. And then coming to Australia, they shortened it to Gus because Augustine was too long. As I was with my grandparents, there was a primary school there in the village, basically for black people. And that's where I did my first 8 years of school. We had 8 years of primary school at the time, and I did most of them when I was with my grandparents. I used to walk there. It was only about 2 miles away, and so it was easy. As a little boy, you just walk and go and come back about around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, like everywhere else. I was one of those people who became a refugee outside when there was a lot of fighting in Zimbabwe for independence, and for 5 years I was outside the country. On independence, I was lucky. I won a Commonwealth scholarship and had a choice to go to Canada, the UK, or Australia. I had no idea where Australia was, and Canada, I knew it was very cold, and the UK, I knew it was very small. So Australia was very fancy, and I came here to go to university. I loved Adelaide. I did fall in love. The only problem was when I got there, it was 43 degrees, and I'd never experienced that in my life. I'd been in Mozambique, where it was a little bit humid. Zimbabwe is very temperate. It's lovely weather. Anything above 30 is not good. But 42, 43 was like, whoa, where am I? But it was lovely to be welcomed by this bearded man who was wearing very shorts and wearing thongs. And I envied him because I was wearing a suit, trying to impress. Canberra, in Adelaide, after I'd finished my first degree, I was offered a position there by one of the big companies there, and they decided to help me get permanent residency. And then I got a job in Brisbane when I was in Adelaide, and I was, flown to Brisbane. Then when I was in Brisbane, that same company had an office in Canberra, and they gave me a promotion and decided to bring me to Canberra, and I've been here for more than 10 years now. Zimbabwe is a musical place. When I was with my grandparents, as an example, we used to sing along at night. That was part of the orientation, if you like. Everybody gathered together around the fireplace and would sing. Someone would start singing. Then another person would pick up like a drum. It could be an empty tin, or an actual drum, and they would start playing. Then someone would start dancing, and before you know, we have a full-on gig, concert. And that's where I learned the traditional dance first, which I really used in later years, doing a school theatre and all that stuff. And I loved singing. I was always in the choir, so it was my interest, my passion in a sense. I just did it because I really loved it. And coming to Adelaide, started a band and playing traditional Zimbabwean music. And it's been, a good passion since then. because I was working with the Multicultural Arts Center as the chairman for quite a few years, but also doing collaboration with musicians from different countries. Indian music, I did collaboration with Guy who was playing tabla, and also with a classical pianist with my drums. where we did something which people appreciated until I put an 8-piece band together. Recorded a CD and toured a fair bit around Australia with it. But in Brisbane, that's where I did a project with the Centre for Assistance to Asylum Seekers. We recorded a CD together, which was promoted by Oxfam internationally, and it was really good. Then coming to Canberra, now you know, trying. Hopefully, we'll do something together. It's been absolutely a wonderful journey. This is mbira. It's called mbira, which is thumb piano. We play with your 2 thumbs and an index finger. It's really the traditional instrument of Zimbabwe. It's played at special occasions or happy occasions. It could be weddings, deaths, ceremonies of some sort. And I love it. I don't know what I would do without it. Sometimes you have to have someone accompanied with shakers, you know. This one, I've set it inside. Essentially, this is the instrument. It's just a piece of wood with tuned keys, metal keys. They range from 8 to 64. Some of the real experts have got 64 keys, and they still play with 2 thumbs and 1 index finger. This one is 22 keys, which I find a little bit easier to work with. I put it in this is fiberglass, but generally it's gold, which we use as a resonator, and the magic stick. Keep it in place so it doesn't move as I am playing. I can get up and dance around while still playing. That's what it's like. It's good fun. I love it. It's got that metallic sound, which is fascinating.
What's that you brought with you?
This is my my hat. Some people thought it was my hair, but I like wearing it. This is ostrich feathers. It's quite nice when you put it on. It sort of
Regal.
extends something. It does something. For me, if I'm on stage and I put this on, some energy just seems to come bubbling through. The subject of refugees is very important, and I sincerely support it. I've always done this. I think for this particular project, it would be important really to have a project of this nature where we are entertaining with a purpose of making sure that we are supporting people who are in need. Some of them are hopeless because they have no hope. They have lost hope. Having lost the dignity of their home, coming this far away, any support is absolutely crucial to their lives or welfare. So I do really cherish the opportunity of working on this particular project. Hopefully it will go on and succeed for as long as possible.
My name is Felix Simba Machiridza. I came from Zimbabwe as a refugee about 7 years ago, and I've got a story to tell which if this documentary goes ahead, people may find it interesting and it may inspire someone one day. Thank you.
You ready, Joe? Let's go. Kumbaya, 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 kumbaya. kumbaya, 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 kumbaya. Kumbaya, 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 kumbaya. I'm gonna sing you a song about a boy named Joe, whose life will now unfold. He was born in Sudan to a dignified man and a mother with heart of gold. While the war began and the dignified man had to leave, fight for a cause. Said you can take my life and you can take my home, but you can never take my soul, no. Well, Joe and his mom and her other son went to the jungle from camp to camp. The militia king killed again and again every woman, man, and child. Though his mother did as much as she could to keep her kids alive. It ain't a war as such when only they've got guns and your belly just turned 5. Well, in a killing spree, they tried to flee, played for another day. In the panic and rush, his mother's desperate clutch, a hand just slipped away. Alone he ran as fast as he can, found shelter with an aunt. And for 11 years, and thus a lot of tears, his family were kept apart. Every night she prayed that her son was saved. She fled to a foreign land, and time passed away till it happened one day that Joe, he tracked it down. 11 years apart, almost killed her heart the day he stepped from the plane. She felt a joy so dear and felt the time and years for Joe